Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be testing and reviewing a new brand, NUSE. Now, these are the products I have with me, and NUSE is a brand I think that is a subsidiary or a sister brand to the Romand collection line. Whatever, you guys know I love Romand. I've done dedicated videos for them. Their lip products are some of my favorites and just raved about all over by K-beauty lovers. And when I saw that they launched a new brand, I was really excited to try it out. The packaging is beautiful. It's this periwinkle cap and just transparent minimalistic vibes. I absolutely love it. This is what my full face looks like after using just those 4 products. So keep on watching the video if you want to see the full review. I purchased every single product from NUSE so we can test it out together and give it a fair review. Now obviously there are more than one shade, but I only picked one because otherwise it's a bit redundant. I'm only testing the formula and the products and not just the entire shade range. But here are the products, and I do want to give a shout out to the packaging because the packaging is so cute. I left it, but it has this beautiful pink purple kind of ombre situation, and once you open it up, it's like one of those surprise boxes. You can completely open it up like a flower almost. I just think it's so cute. And you have like an encasing so the product stays in place. So that was for the tone up cream. And on the inside, you do get explanations on how to use it, what products or ingredients made up that particular item. And I just think it's so cute, and it is a cute packaging. I really wanted to keep it just to show you guys, and you can just close it up, put it in a little capsule, and it will stay put in a box. I think that's really adorable. It goes the same with their lip product, and you know, just chuck it in, open it up, and voila. I think that is so unique for a packaging, and it is absolutely adorable. Now let's move on to the actual products. I did, as I said earlier, pick up 4 products. I picked up number 1, the tone up cream, number 2, their liquid blush, and then their lip tint, as well as a lip balm. So we are going to take turns using these. Something really special about the packaging and something new about it, and it is one of the most, I guess, standout selling points of this line, is that the packaging you can see is not completely, I guess, matched up together. Normally when we have a packaging, you know, if we have a round thing, we would connect it to the round part, and then the flat edge would connect to the flat edge. But this is actually the complete opposite. It closes with the flat edge to the round edge, and exactly the same on the other side. And it does say new, get used to it. So that is one of the biggest selling points of these products. So that's common within all their liquid products, whereas their lip balm, obviously it's a little bit hard to see, but it also has like the flat edge, round edge, flat edge, round edge for the packaging. Very cute. Nothing super special that makes us want to get it just because the packaging is different, but it is something quite cute. To give this product a fair review, I'm going to prime my face with my favorite primer. This is the Bobbi Brown Enriched Vitamin Cream Face Base, my bad. It is this beautiful putty consistency, heavy cream situation. It smells like a freshly cut orange, and I just find that it really moisturizes my face and the makeup lasts a lot longer on my skin. I'm also going to quickly spritz the skin with the Rare Beauty Always an Optimus setting spray. I feel like that also helps with longevity of makeup. Also, can we take some appreciation for these hair clips and accessories? I think they're so cute. So I got these during my trip to China, and I just think they're so adorable. You have these little dangly bits. It just, oh, it's so pretty. It's giving like fairy core and like cottage core vibes, and I really, really love it. So yeah, wanted to shout that out. And I think today is actually quite a great day to test these products because my skin looks kind of really rough. Uni just started. I'm jet lagged, so the skin's looking a bit red. We can test the coverage, so that's not bad. This is the first product we're going to test. This is the NUSE Tone Up Cream, and I got this in the shade 02 Ivory. There were 2 shades, I'm pretty sure. One was transparent, just tone up, and this is ivory, so I thought it might have some coverage to it. And it comes with a very stereotypical pump applicator, and I pumped out quite a bit just because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. You can see very regular, almost foundation finish. It doesn't really feel too runny, but it is quite light and watery as a consistency, and we can see here it just feels quite light. I was going to put it on my face, but It's also very easy to spread out, and it is very lightly coverage. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dot this on the skin and use my sponge and pat it out, and I want to see what difference it makes. It feels very light, so even as you can see I'm spreading it out, it almost feels like a watery texture. I do want to mention there's no like particular scent to it, which I think is quite nice. Okay, we have my half of my face all toned up. We can see definitely there is a very clear difference. This side not only has my skin brightened, but it does look like it is more even out in comparison to this side, and the sponge, there's not too much soaked up in there. It was quite easy to blend out, but obviously the coverage is very minimal. It's not meant to be super high coverage. It's meant to be one of those no makeup base looks, and I'm going to repeat that on this side of the skin. And you can see I like to apply quite a lot just because I knew there wasn't that much coverage, and I like to apply from the center of my face to outside because we want to focus the coverage on the center of our face. Whatever's remaining on my hand, I'm just going to scoop it up with my sponge and pat it on my neck so my face and neck are the same shade. I hate it when my neck is a lot more tan than my face. It just looks really horrible. It doesn't look very cohesive. That looks much better, and looking through my compact mirror I can see that it looks almost like a sunscreen white cast. That's what it looks like to me. I feel like the coverage is very minimal. You can't really see it. It's just whitening my face. So even for days where I'm opting for less coverage, I probably wouldn't reach for this just because it looks quite patchy. I feel like I can get the same effect just from my sunscreen, at least from a first glance. I don't know if it lasts a lot longer, and yeah, there's nothing super special about it. I'm just patting some areas in because I was doing it with my phone camera, so obviously I couldn't really see all the details, and I'm just doing some fine patchwork. But I do want to show you guys that it did settle really nicely along my nose. It didn't really crease or anything weird, but my skin does look quite oily from this, so that's number one thing. Not a huge fan of that. I feel like this just looks like my skin but whiter. Yeah, nothing super special about it. I'm a little bit disappointed, at least at first glance, but now let's move on to the next product, which is this liquid blush. I picked up the shade 01. Initially I was going to pick 01 for all these products just because I thought, number one, it's like the minimalistic one. That's how it was advertised on the website and brand kind of product description for OliveYoung. So I was like, oh, let me get 01. I want minimalistic, no makeup. But here is the blush. It is a very typical, I guess, nozzle applicator, and this shade looks very cool tone, so I'm a bit worried about that. I'm more of a warm tone. It's quite thicker. It's almost like a jelly consistency. It actually feels quite comfortable, and this one looks really pigmented. As I'm just playing around with it, I feel like that's a lot of pigment, and you get quite a lot just from one pump. This was one pump, so you probably only need half a pump. This smells so bad. It has such a strong scent. It's like this artificial shampoo scent. I don't know if people remember like the Pantene shampoos and like a salon smell. It's just like a very strong, overly floral, like bleach scent. It smells really bad. I don't like it, but the texture and consistency looks really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pat a little bit on my cheeks. I'm gonna put it a bit lower just because it's a cool tone. It might act as like a contour. Oh, feels quite cooling on my skin, and I'm going to take the butt of my sponge and blend it out. Oh, that blended out really nicely. So don't worry if it looks a little bit too pigmented on the swatch and skin, because once you blend it out, it's quite minimal, which I do like. I like how it's a buildable coverage. Okay, there we are. We warmed up the skin. You can see in comparison, this side looks like it has more of a dimension now just because I put a little bit of color on it. Now let's apply on this side. It's just quite nice mauvey shade, and I do like that. I think it's quite cute, just as some like shading. This is a trick I like to do. If I have a cool tone blush, I like to place it quite low just so it can act almost as a shadow. It blends very seamlessly into the skin. I guess it's because it's a gel texture. It just melts in. It doesn't emphasize your pores, and it looks like it's not there, but once you actually look into a mirror or a just compact or something, it shows up, and it's just a very subtle coloring. I do like that. I think that's really pretty. I'm gonna put some on my forehead as well. I think it's actually really pretty as an eyeshadow. Okay, the blush so far, the formula is a win, the scent is not a win, and I do want to mention it does oxidize a little bit and it becomes darker. So you can see on the edges here, once it dries out, it's a lot darker in comparison to when it's freshly pumped out. I can see a clear difference on my hand versus where it's still quite wet, and the borderline when it's starting to dry out. So that is something to keep in mind. It does get darker over time. So I'm just going to wipe that away. So I've wiped it away with just a normal tissue with nothing on it, and I can see that it actually left a stain on my hand. So longevity, I'm not sure if it will stain my face, and that's something we want, but we'll test it out. But so far, face is looking very no makeup for sure. I would like a little bit more coverage, but now let's move on to lip products. There are two lip products that we are going to test out. First of all, there is a very typical lip balm. I picked up the shade 03. It is a beautiful red, and the packaging is almost like a bullet. It's actually rounded. This is what it looks like. It's giving me like the Chocobo vibes, and it is described as a nourishing lip balm that will make your lips baby soft, just like all lip balms. And then we have a lip tint. This is in the shade Molten Peanut 01, and this is like a very typical K-beauty, very dewy on the lips. And yeah, we're going to swatch both of these together actually, and I think I'm going to start off with the lighter one, 01. This is probably not going to tint as much so we can see the colors, but this is the packaging. You pull it out and you have a very short applicator with this kind of big stubby lid, but let's do a swatcheroo. This is again very nude and natural makeup vibes. You can see how dewy it is. It has a tint of orange and brown to it, which I really like. This is, just from swatching it, very hydrating. I would say this is almost like a lip oil consistency. Very pretty. There is a slight scent, but not as obnoxious as the blush. It's just like a nice floral sweet scent. Applicator is also quite flat and slightly slanted, and just very typical. Let's apply it on our lips. It's a very comfortable formula. It's really watery, and I do like it. I think it's quite light. It's very moisturizing, and this is how I want a lip oil to feel. It literally feels like an oil just slipped on, and there's some slight coverage to it, which I think really brightens and makes my face look more lively. I actually really like this. I think this is a really cute lip tint. It's nothing super special, just because this is the type of formula a lot of K-beauty has, but it's not bad. I really like it actually. I would take this, you know, on the go with me and just reapply it throughout the day. I feel like it's also quite hydrating and moisturizing. One thing to note as well is it doesn't emphasize your dry lips. It just coats over it, and it's actually quite moisturizing. You can see the bottom lip looks really smooth, which I'm surprised about because it was so dry this morning. It just coated over it, feels really good, and the tint looks really natural. I do like this. I think this is my favorite product so far. After wiping that away, we can see it left a slight tint, but it's not obvious enough to, you know, be there for a long time. Just gonna touch up the edges of my mouth a little bit more, and now we're going to try the lip balm. The lip balm, because it is such a bright shade, I'm sure it will be a bit more pigmented. At least that's what I hope, but let's give it a little try. Definitely more pigmented. This is so dewy. It's really pretty. I feel like this is almost like the balm version of it. It's very dewy, and the sun's just not doing it for lighting, but I don't know if you can see, it almost melted the tip. The tip is very malleable. It's very easy to melt. I can't believe I forgot to swatch it, but this is what it's like. And because it's so round, it's easy to coat your lips. It's very, very hydrating and moisturizing. I feel like it's almost exactly the same as the lip tint, except for, as I said earlier, in the balm texture. Oh, we can see lip tint is still glossy even after a long time and when it's dried out, which is cute. This is the lip balm. It's very comfortable. I do really like it. I feel like it, same effect. It doesn't really emphasize my dry skin. It just coats over it, and I feel like it will moisturize throughout the day. Yeah, this is really pretty. I really like the lip products. I think the lip products are really good, and that's kind of what I expected, especially since it's said to be a sister brand, Roman, which is so known for their lip products. These are very hydrating, moisturizing, and comfortable on your lips, and I feel like you can probably use it as multi-purpose. So let's give that a go. I'm going to put a little bit on my hand like so. I'm going to get the lip balm and I'm just going to use my fingers and dot it onto my cheeks. Oh yeah, for sure you can use these as like a multi-purpose product. I do like that quite a bit, and I'm going to just wrap up this video right now. It's really nice and quick. We only have 4 products here. Overall, I feel like this is a brand that I was intrigued by because of it was owned by Roman, and also it does look quite pretty. The packaging, I must say, it's very beautiful. It's very minimalistic and it's a little bit new, and I have a bad spending habit, so I like to buy things and test them and review them, and I do like the packaging, but the products themselves I'm not a big fan of. As you can see, my full face is done and it definitely looks quite natural, apart from the lips. The lips are a little bit too bright. I think I need something a little bit bright just to like emphasize my face, but the rest, I'm not too big a fan of, at least on first impressions. Maybe in the future I'll make a video and apologize and change my mind, but so far it's nothing super special and I'm not loving it. The complexion, as I said earlier, it just looks oily and looks like I put on sunscreen with a white cast, and yeah, it's kind of emphasizing my pores as well around my nose. It's just not looking super cute. It's emphasizing on my texture. I don't really like that. And the cheek product, I do like the formula, but I can't stand the scent of it. Even now I can get a small whiff of it and it's kind of annoying. I don't love that, but it does look really pretty. You can see it gives a very subtle shading on your cheeks. I just hope they can get rid of the fragrance. I might try another formula shade in the future, but the lip products I do enjoy quite a bit. I think I do prefer the lip tint a little bit more. It feels more hydrating, or maybe it's because I used it and I wiped it so it's more dry, but I do like this. I like the shade of it. I like the texture. It's like a lip oil. It's very light and I feel like I'm putting on lip balm, and the lip balm itself is really pretty as well. I think I would actually really like this just for days where it's light makeup. I can just put it on, gives me a little bit of tint, and it protects my lips. One thing to note is that none of these lip products have SPF, which is slightly a shame because I feel like if it had SPF in it, it would just add to it. What does have SPF is this tone up cream, which honestly I think you can just advertise it as a sunscreen. It's SPF 50. You can definitely use it just as a sunscreen for tone up purposes, which then I feel like it would sell actually better just because this gives no coverage. If I use this as maybe like a primer and then more like concealer on top, I would like this a lot more, I feel like. But yeah, that's my review of these products. I hope you find it useful and this video helped you. But if you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to my channel, and let me know down below what other videos you would like to see for the future. But that's it from me today, and I'll see you guys next time.